because if one bank says that they couldn't give a mortgage to me based on my nationality because I'm not a citizen of Denmark, for me that's discrimination. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy Njoka and I am the creator at HuusHome channel. I just came from having a live and I've laughed so much. So I post new videos every Monday and Friday, and I post content about our home renovations and improvements. Please subscribe and like this video and turn on your notification bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video. Today is a story time. So when we decided to buy this house, and I'm just gonna take you through the journey. We did not decide, like woke up and decide to buy this particular house, but when we started thinking about buying a house here in Denmark for me and my husband and just our family, it was the idea of a house came to us around 2018. Oh wow, okay, you all know that I don't live alone, but it came to us around 2018, and we're like, it would be actually nice to buy a house when I was starting my master. So we thought that we could find a house close to the university and it would be easy for me to commute to campus and be able to get to Pittsburgh. And then shortly after, we found out that I was pregnant and our finances were not at a good place financially to actually buy a house. So we decided to apply to get a bigger apartment within the same building community where we were at, and that's how we ended up buying the apartment where we moved from in 2018. Because then I found out I was pregnant, we needed an extra room for another child, and yes, we bought the apartment instead. So the house idea didn't come to us until around 2020 when COVID happened, and we were like, what? This is really tough being on the 6th floor with 2 kids and having to work, and our kids are like, well, Bernie is really extroverted and he needs to use his muscles and be outside and stuff like that. So it wasn't the best environment for him. So we started looking for houses again, just for fun, you know, because we were aware still of our finances. I had not finished my master's, and so it wasn't like very secure financially for us to buy a house at that time, but we were still looking. We booked appointments with realtors and went to look at different houses. At around end of 2020, we actually decided to talk to a bank and ask how we were doing in terms of finances, because we had almost paid our mortgage for the apartment. So we're like, okay, right now we are able to afford a house up to a certain point. And we talked to a bank and everything was okay, but they advised that it would be nice for me to get a job first, or rather for me to graduate first. This was in 2020 because I had not graduated yet. I was still writing my master thesis. So we talked with them and they said, yeah, they would advise for me to graduate from uni and then we can talk about it. So we relaxed. We continued looking for houses. We did our own calculations and of course overestimated and thought we're gonna afford a house at like ridiculous amount of money. So we started looking at the wrong houses. For a while we looked at really quite costly or expensive houses. Then at some point in 2021 we decided to talk to other banks, or Regva was like, I think it's nice to actually talk to other banks and see what they're offering and what they say about us and our finances. So we went to like 2-3 different banks and everything was okay. Our finances were okay, they were aligned, we could afford the houses that we wanted, up to the point where they asked for our documents to just, you know, check everything is okay. And then I forwarded my resident permit, and that's when we got the first shock, which was they couldn't give us a mortgage to buy a house because I wasn't a Danish citizen. And that actually came as a surprise to us. We're like, oh, what do you mean? Like, we don't understand. And yeah, they just said it's their policy. It's a new policy that has been implemented in the bank, and it's because of security they couldn't continue with the negotiations with us. We went to the second bank and everything went well. We had enough savings to actually for the principal to buy the house. We had like everything that was required, except that I wasn't a Danish national and maybe I was black. I really don't know, because I have friends from other countries, non-black countries, that have been able to actually buy houses here without going through that, using similar banks. Anyway, so we were a little bit frustrated and we relaxed for a while and stopped looking at houses. We were like, you know what, it's okay, maybe it's not our thing. And we started looking for the positive things around the place where we lived. For instance, it was very close to our kids' institution. There were schools there. It was close to my place of work. I mean, everything was okay. Actually, we were still looking at houses. We were still booking houses, viewing, and we would drive almost every weekend to go and look at houses. So in around April or May in 2021, we came and looked at this house, and there was a water damage in the kitchen and in the bathroom, which was being covered by the insurance. And so it really looked horrible, literally horrible. Like there was a hole in the middle of the house. It wasn't nice. And we gave an offer to the house. And this was after we had already talked to our bank. We decided, you know what, we're gonna go with our bank, even though the interests are a little bit higher than the other banks. I mean, this bank doesn't have the policy to exclude me, because they've already given us a mortgage on the other apartment, which we did not default in any way. So in any case, I think the policy of banks' policies in Denmark are different, or they're not governed by the same banking law, I think. Because if one bank says that they couldn't give a mortgage to me based on my nationality because I'm not a citizen of Denmark, for me that's discrimination. Anyway, but we can talk about that another day. And then another bank comes in and actually gives us a mortgage, which is a good thing. And this was after now our bank had given us the mortgage, had like decided to give us a mortgage and be like, you know what, it's okay, go ahead, your finances match and you're able to buy a house. So we gave an offer to this house, and the house was like really high. So the offer we gave was like just for the sake of it, you know. And the first realtor, I think we didn't have chemistry with her, nor the seller didn't have the chemistry with the realtor. So it really didn't go anywhere. She just basically came back to us and said that the seller doesn't want to sell to us. And we're like, okay, whatever. We're gonna just have to keep looking and see if we can find a house that is within our budget. So yeah, that's what we did. We kept looking, and then around October of 2021, there was a new realtor who took over this house, and the insurance had already fixed all the water damage around the house. So we decided to actually try. No, they called us and they're like, so we realized that you guys had already given an offer on this house. Would you like to offer the same amount again, and we can take it to the seller? And we were like really excited, because when we came here, we really liked this house. The space was enough for all of us, is what we were looking for. The plan was good enough for us to make it to what we would like the house to look like. The garden was really big. It was strategically placed close to the schools where the kids are going, and the neighborhood has so many kids our kids' age. So it was like, you know, the right things that we wanted. So we gave the offer again, and actually it was undisputed, or undisputed. So we just moved on with life, waiting for them to talk to us. And until November, when we went for a holiday to Kenya. And I went there first with the kids, and Drake was left here. And he got the call and was like, you know what, the seller has decided to sell the house to you. And he called me and was like, we got through, we got the house, we got the offer, so we just needed to sign. And the following week he joined us in Kenya. We went for vacation in the coasts, and we sent our purchase papers. It was a journey that started from 2018 stopped, came back again, and then the banks and my nationality, and it was just a lot of things happening at the same time. But here we are, guys. And if you would like to see the video about different things to consider when taking a mortgage from a bank, let us know, because in Denmark it's quite different. You have to have a certain minimum, a certain wage per month as a household of 4 people, of 2 parents and 2 children, for you to qualify to get the mortgage or all those financial things. And I can have my husband join us and actually explain to us more about the interest rates and what interest we decided to go with and why. And if you think that could be interesting to you, comment down below and let me know, so that I can have my husband join us and we can have it for a Friday video, and we can talk more about those interests, financing for buying a house, how to actually save enough to buy a house in Denmark, because it's a very different market, property market in Denmark as compared to where I come from, for instance, in Kenya. Example is that we are paying less monthly costs living in this house as opposed to how much we paid at the apartment in Copenhagen. So there are a lot of things that you consider as a family financially for you to get a house. But I can tell you for sure, it's not that hard to get a house in Denmark. But you have to be really smart to not just live in the house and not ever eat, you know. Yeah, that's how we got here, and now we're here. Renovations have started, and I cannot wait to keep sharing more and more with you guys. There is a lot more that is going to happen. Like, we are turning this house upside down. It's like an complete extreme makeover. So stay tuned for every new video, and please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you're notified every time I post new videos, okay? And share this video around, please, okay? Thank you so much for watching. See you on Friday. Subscribe, it's free.